How far would you go if someone tried to destroy your second chance? I don't tell this story often because honestly, it still makes my hands shake, and not from the PTSD. When I came back from Iraq with one leg, the doctor said I was lucky. The first person to visit me after was my brother-in-law, Richard, and I'll never forget what he said. Well, at least you got a free retirement out of it. I stared at where my leg used to be and wondered if this was what my life meant now. 5 years later, and I still wake up at 3 a.m. checking for my rifle. Still hit the deck when cars backfire. But you know what hurts worse than losing a limb? Watching your family look at you like you're broken merchandise. Richard owned 3 restaurants and never missed a chance to remind everyone. Every Christmas, every birthday, every damn barbecue, he'd show up in whatever new Mercedes he'd bought that month while I was still learning to walk without falling. My therapist at the VA kept saying I needed purpose. Purpose. Like I hadn't had purpose before. Like leading men through hell wasn't purpose enough. But she was right about one thing. I needed something to fight for again. So I started cooking. Sounds stupid, right? Big tough soldier playing chef. But when you've eaten nothing but MREs for 18 months, you learn to worship flavor. I saved every penny of my disability checks, watched every cooking show, read every book the library had, and I bought a beat-up food truck that looked like it had survived its own war. My buddy Carlos came to help. Lost his left arm in Kandahar, but could still fix an engine better than anyone. When Richard saw it, he actually laughed and said, "That piece of poop is going to ruin you." But here's the thing about veterans. We're used to being underestimated. Within 6 months, I had 8 guys working shifts. My best guys were Tommy, who got seizures from a TBI but made the best tacos you've ever tasted, and Mike, whose hands shook from nerve damage but could flip eggs like poetry. We weren't just serving food, we were serving hope, giving guys like us a reason to get up, a place where nobody thanked us for our service with that look of pity. But for some reason, Richard hated it. At my niece's graduation, he pulled me aside and said something I'll never forget. Giving handouts to broken soldiers won't fix them. Maybe if they were stronger, they wouldn't need charity from a food truck. I wanted to kill him. Instead, I walked away. I knew what I needed to do. There was an annual city food competition, and guess whose restaurant was hosting? I entered that night. My crew thought I'd lost it competing against real chefs, but they didn't get it. This wasn't about winning. This was about proving we weren't broken. We practiced for weeks. Tommy's mother had sent him recipes before she died, and we perfected everyone. Mike's Korean grandmother had taught him dumplings, and even with shaking hands, they were perfect. When our truck rolled, Richard's face was beautiful. The crowd came in waves. By afternoon, we'd served over 300 plates. When they announced People's Choice winner, Richard was already on stage expecting his name. Then they said my name. His face went from red to purple to white. $5,000 prize and this ridiculous golden spatula. Richard had to hand it to me, and I swear his hands shook worse than Mike's. I took the mic and looked him in the eye. I want to thank Richard Castellano for inspiring us to work harder. When people tell you you're broken, you have 2 choices. Believe them or prove them wrong. He had to smile, but when he shook my hand, he whispered, "You just made the biggest mistake of your life." The next week was beautiful. Lines around the block. For once, something good was happening. Then the inspection started. 3 and 5 days. Our permits got lost twice. There were noise complaints from nowhere, but we kept going because that's what we do. Then Carlos texted me that cops were impounding the truck and Tommy was seizing from stress. Everything we'd built was burning. I sat there thinking, maybe we were too broken to build anything good. Then I remembered our oath. We don't leave anyone behind. I drove to the truck expecting disaster, but found something else. Richard was there, signing for the truck. He came over to me and said, "The cops considered the truck a health problem. Don't worry, I handled everything. They plan to crush it later today." I told him he was insane. He said, "No, I'm just better than you." He wanted to fight? Fine, but he should know I've already been through hell. What's one more battle? Full story on channel, linked below.